అంటారా భయ్ బరాబర్ అంటారు. పెళ్లి చూపులు అయితే ఏంది?
మీరేం చేస్తుంటారు? జాబ్?
చచా జాబ్ లాంటిది ఏం లేదు. యూట్యూబ్లో కుకింగ్ వీడియోస్ చేద్దాం
చేసి నువ్వే చూసుకుంటావా?
సిగ్గు లేకపోతే సరే. టైం ఎంత? ఇన్స్పెక్షన్ అని తెలీదా నీకో? చెవులు దుబ్బాయా?
అంటోడికి జాబ్ వచ్చింది చూడరా, ఇలా నాకు కాలేదు.
ట్రక్స్ గురించి విన్నావా? ఆల్రెడీ యూఎస్లో బూమింగ్ బిజినెస్. ఒక ట్రక్ కొనుక్కొని ఒక కిచెన్ సెటప్ చేస్తే డన్. మంచి ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ మెనూ పెట్టుకొని ఎక్కడైనా బిజినెస్ చేయొచ్చు.
దే కాల్ ఇట్ ద స్ట్రీట్ ఫుడ్ రెవల్యూషన్. ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్.
నో రిచా ఇట్స్ క్వైట్ గుడ్.
హాయ్ సార్, పక్కా పాస్ రెడీ.
నీ వల్ల కాదులే కానీ చిట్స్ పెట్టుకునే నా పాస్.
Hello everyone. The film industry in 2016 has seen many hits and many flops too. One such film which was hit and which stayed with us and which is going to stay with, which is very near to the heart of the youth especially, is Pelli Choopulu. Pelli Choopulu came like a black horse to the film industry and it was a smash hit. The movie garnered around about 1.5 million in US market and this is almost the 10th week. It is still running in the theaters. Today we have Pelli Choopulu's brainchild, the director Mr. Tharun Bhascker himself with us. Hello sir.
Hi.
We at Department of Communication welcome you to the department and we are glad that we have you here. We would like you to share some views regarding filmmaking and how did this content happen with so much ease.
Absolutely. So I'm extremely delighted to be here, and also since my father was a part of this university, he was a student union leader here during emergency time. So it's a nostalgic thing for me to come here. It's a proud moment, and also Krishank.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's I'm delighted to be here.
Right. Sir, so starting from the beginning, we know that you are located in Hyderabad from very much. We'll take this interview from your
Sure.
childhood with this thing to where you are here at the present day. So how were your days? Were you inclined to this filmmaking from the very much of the beginning or?
So initially I was into art and painting and stuff. So my parents used to encourage me a lot into that kind of field.
Right.
And there were a lot of competitions that I had attended because of the encouragement that was given by my parents. Then I started exploring different mediums, and I did my schooling from HPS Begumpet.
Okay.
So from there, when I was in my 11th standard or something, 12th daggara, there was this graduation ceremony happening. So then I had to make one montage of clips and stuff on Mata. So Dantlo made one really bad short film. That got screened there, and one of my friend's father is a prominent director called Manishankar. Rudrakshan oka cinema, a couple of films he's made. So he was very encouraging, my friends were very encouraging, the applause was really intoxicating for me to kind of think. And then I thought this is what I have to get into. And then I started making short films.
Okay.
So
So it's like you were into completely arts, or did you graduate in arts? We heard
I didn't,
you haven't
no.
graduated in the arts.
No,
Can
no.
we know the reason why did you take the technology background?
So basically, my dad was very insistent that I make get a degree, engineering degree first.
Okay.
So basically, he said mechanic. Finally, I wanted to do mechanical engineering. It was a mutual decision.
Mutual.
But after 1 year down the line, I realized that it wasn't so mutual after all. So, but I continued to go for it. Also, I have to kind of be very honest and say that my faculty was also kind of very encouraging in a way. They didn't see me be a fit in mechanical engineering. And although I was in my first year, I was pretty much fine with one supplementary exam with M1. But after that, I had at the end of it, I had 23 supplies and 4 short films.
Okay. Right.
After 1 year, I kind of cleared up, and then recently, when I was writing Pelli Choopulu, just my dad wanted me to clear off the supply. That's why I went back and wrote my supplies, and I cleared them during my second schedule. And now I had a film and a degree, so
Together.
yeah,
You work
together after that.
Wonderful. We heard that you started by making poster things.
Yeah.
You initially started by designing this poster
Posters,
design. Yeah. How did this happen?
So basically, I was into graphic design. More than anything, I was fiddling around with a lot of software.
Okay.
So my major experience starts off from Photoshop. So I worked on Photoshop, then I worked on the software called Sony Vegas. At that point of time, it was the most prominent non-linear editing software. And then I transitioned to Final Draft and then Adobe Premiere Pro. So all these softwares were game changers for me because I kind of understood art in a very technical form. So there was some kind of technicality into art, and then digitization was happening at that point of time. And I realized that I wanted to kind of get into Photoshop. And since I was very good at art also, I kind of looked at that as a hobby. But when it became professional, a few of my friends, uncles and fathers and all these people, they gave me a few odd jobs for pocket money. So I used to jump my college gate and go and do poster designs and earn 4,000 per poster.
You used to bunk college.
I used to bunk college and do that. So there were these clubs at that point of time called Touch and F-Bar and Venom. Now it's Venom
Closed.
and stuff like that. It's all there. So I was the official poster designer for all of that. So whatever money I used to get from these poster designs, I used to invest into buying some kind of gear and producing short films or making short films or whatever.
We heard that you even explored and almost conquered the business of wedding films, making wedding films.
Yeah. So yeah.
So even I personally started following you from the way you make your wedding films.
Right.
So I believe in India we spend a lot on wedding.
Yeah.
So why a shift? Why did you not continue in that profession and come this side?
So basically, I wanted to start off making money. Number one,
Right.
at the end of, because I wasn't sure which field I would make money in. So at the end of my second year, when I was actually going to these people to make poster designs and all that, they were paying me much lesser than what they would have paid a Bombay agency.
Okay.
So I felt that a representation was required in terms of me sitting there and for the meetings and the client briefing and all that. Instead, I felt that I should register a private limited company,
Right.
have a few people represent the artists who are working behind, and then you have service tax and a proper invoice system and everything. Then they feel that they have paid enough for the thing. So that's the major.
Corporate feel to corporate touch to that thing.
Yeah. So basically, I registered a firm called Vinodna Geeta Media Private Limited with my friends. The registered office was my house, and we were working out of my room. So initially, there was just one laptop we were all working out of. But eventually, after I was making corporate films for GVK Bio and Red Bull and all these also at that point of time. And after that, I worked with this person called Joseph Radik.
Right.
So Joseph Radik is a wedding photographer. He's known nationwide for his wedding films and all that. So in his initial stages, I went and shot one wedding in Delhi. And after that, he called me once and he put me on a flight to Bali. He didn't tell me who the client was. Once I went to Bali, then I realized it was Vijay Mallya's daughter.
Wow.
So I was supposed to shoot Siddharth Malya and Deepika Padukone. So I was the official filmmaker for that particular film. I wasn't supposed to tell anybody because it was an NDA. But then I came back, I used that as my portfolio, and I decided to kind of make only wedding films because there's huge money in it, as well as some kind of thing to run the entire company was happening. So then a few more friends got into the entire footsteps of wedding films, and then I handed over the entire thing to them because after the third wedding film, I realized it's not fiction. You can't tell the bride and the groom to act. So you're just documenting what they're doing or stuff. So there's no creativity involved. Even if it's there, it's very limited. So then it was becoming nauseating for me. I was going there and the treatment is also very different for wedding filmmakers and photographers. You have to get used to it. So I felt I'm better off in a place where I can create fiction because I felt that this is close to short filmmaking or filmmaking, but I was absolutely wrong. Then I had to take a decision whether to do it for money or do it for myself. Then I called in my friends and I told them there's good money. Do you want to do it? They handled the wedding film part.
Right.
Then I said I'm going to do my trials in
So
filmmaking.
Vinutana Geeta is still working and it's making the wedding
It's still
film.
working. We have over 120 clients. Apart from that, we've worked over 30 to 40 wedding films, hopefully. So I'm not sure, somewhere close to that figure.
Is there something behind the name Vinutana Geeta? Why specifically?
So basically, I wanted my mom's name to be a very integral part of the thing. Very close to mom, so I wanted her name to be there. Apart from that, my dad was very particular about numerology and all that. Since then, my spelling is also like that.
Yes.
So in that context, he kind of suggested this name, and then I thought, whatever my parents say, I wanted to just put it out there.
What are the casting issues coming to Pelli Choopulu?
Right.
Before Pelli Choopulu, it was like you directed Anukokunda.
Right.
Anukokunda was a like YouTube sensation.
Right.
Even during my college days, we
Right.
watched it time and after.
Right. Right.
So how did that idea strike you? I mean, how were you able to give that content within 48 hours of filmmaking something?
So basically, what happened was me and my friends we decided never to make a rom-com in our life because rom-com was a very derogatory thing for us filmmakers. We were initially hot-blooded. We wanted to revolutionize filmmaking, and we wanted to only make films which were dark and stuff like that. Yeah, independent film and all that. But then reality happened. Like we had a reality check after that. So I entered this contest called 48 Hour Film Fest, and there what we had to do was we had to pick the genre from a hat, and then whatever genre you get, based on that you were also given a prop, you were also given a character, and then you have to make a film in 48 hours. So I was new to that entire concept. It was happening only in Bombay at that point of time, but anybody else from any other state could also do it at that point of time. So our representative in Bombay picked the genre there in from the hat, and then we got science fiction or something of that sort. Then I made this short film called Spade, but we were 2 minutes late to submit. We made the film in 48 hours, 2 minutes, and they didn't take our entry. Otherwise, it would have won apparently. So when that happened,
Is Spade still there in YouTube?
it's not there on YouTube because it's a badly made film. I didn't want to put it out there, but they liked it a lot. So they gave me a award, special mention for that film. So then I promised the organizers that next time when you are coming to Hyderabad, I'll give you the film in 47 hours and 58 minutes because I'll send it at least 2 minutes earlier. So I was very much prepared for this thing. And at that point of time, there were a lot of other filmmakers like Sujit Sain and these Hussein Shakiran guys and all these people who were making a lot of love stories and they were getting lakhs of views. So at that point of time, I was freaking out. Like these guys are getting lakhs of views, not getting even 10,000 views, and we are trying to educate society through our short films. What are we doing? So appudu there was these at that point of time, YouTube was kind of being monetized by these people, these companies like Runway Reel and all these other people as well. One of them told me that the moment you're just making a very boring film out of teaching something to society, if you should start making rom-coms and stuff. Otherwise, no, you'll never get a producer and stuff. I was very clear that I will not make a rom-com because this guy told me to, and other people are doing it for lakhs of views. But that was a very kind of dicey situation because people are also pressure was also building up. Like you're making short films, it's not even getting views. You're not even getting a call from a producer. Are you planning to move ahead in this career? Other people are telling me to do a rom-com, which I never wanted to do because it's against the grain of my group. They'll all spit on my face or something if I do a rom-com. So all that was going on at that point of time. I said then 48 Hours Hyderabad came in. 48 Hours Film Fest Hyderabad came in, and then I had to pick the genre from the hat. So Anukokunda, I just picked it up. It was rom-com. So it was like destined that I had to move in a direction, and I had to kind of unlearn and then learn again. So then I had to do a rom-com. So I said, okay.
What
then
were the difficulties?
the difficulties of shooting in that 48-hour film festival was that you have to kind of be on your toes. The major thing is during filmmaking, we feel that some people are very adamant when we get into filmmaking. We feel that the only measure of success for a filmmaker is to get his vision out 100%. But then these kind of things, and also when you fail a lot of times, you realize that filmmaking is a collaborative art form. You can't really emphasize your vision onto the table. You just it's like a metamorphosis of or a collaboration, amalgamation of a lot of creative vision. So you have to kind of be open to inviting ideas, see what direction the film is going in, and let it be organic in its process of forming up. So that that realization happens when you're put in pressure conditions like this, because you realize that you can't be in control of everything. You just have to let go at times. So it was that kind of a revelation for me that happened at Ankokunda. I let go. I kind of invited creative inputs. I put my ego aside and I said, okay, let's put everything on the table and make something good. So that's how Anukokunda happened, and it changed everything after that. So there was complete determination. Even if a lightning hits our team, I thought we should just put a film out there 2 minutes before the entire thing. So we were 2 hours early to the submission. I gave the film, I remember, and then it won best film, best actress, best music, everything in that thing. It just swiped, and then I was like, okay, that's done. And then we were just kind of sitting. All of us were sitting and kind of discussing about how everything was going. And suddenly a mail uh, happened to one of our friends, and it was a mail from Cannes saying that it was chosen for the best of 48-hour films in India as an entry to the Cannes. So then we flew to Cannes, and then we met so many people there. After that, life is completely changed. So perspective about cinema has also changed.
So one decision about rom-com, and today we are here.
Yeah, serendipitously. So like in a serendipitous way, అనుకోకుండానే అయిందన్నమాట. I didn't kind of force myself onto it. So.
So association with the music director Mr. Vivek Sagar, is it from the same old days from Anukokunda or even before, or?
So basically, who all I've worked with in Pelli Choopulu are people who I've traveled with from day one. So I think Vivek Sagar, I knew him for the past 5 to 6 years, and I've worked with him on various occasions, even corporate films as well as wedding films and stuff, and even short films. Except for Anukokunda, because of a clash of schedule or something of that sort. At that point of time, I had to kind of take Shravan and Karthik's music.
After Anukokunda, it was, we believe you worked under some film rom-com which eventually didn't happen, which didn't go into sets or something.
No, basically I wrote a drama. Anukokunda kante munde, after Journey, Mr. Ram Mohan, producer of Ashtachama, kind of called me on and he said, write a script. And I wrote this film called B-Tech. It's about 3 empty benches in 3 different sections, like IT and civil and mechanical. Okay. And these 3 guys following their dreams and kind of a domino effect as to how they reach. It was very dramatic. It was very personal. For me, if I was writing the script, I was getting very emotionally attached to the entire thing. And now I realize how wrong it is to kind of attach an emotion to a script, because sometimes you have to depersonalize from your own subject to kind of look at it from a different perspective to see how it's entertaining the other person. So generally, I was very much soaked up into the grandeur of telling my story, that I was telling just my story. I should have told my perspective on different things rather than my own story. So that was a kind of very big learning process for me when I was with Ram Mohan sir as well. We discussed upon it, and he tried to enforce to me that you're putting in too much personal information out there, which might not be connected to a lot of people. So after that, Anukokunda happened, and then I realized that I have to kind of work with different genres, and that's how I wrote Pelli Choopulu as a rom-com. So for me, the entire association with Ram Mohan Garu, I was also, and that B-Tech was a learning process more than anything.
So basically, for mass audience or something, people were connected with cinema.
Right.
Cinema గురించి ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడితే ఇప్పుడు me and my friends, whenever we sit in the evenings or something, wherever, it's like we have watched the film 30 times, not less than 30 times. We are very అంటే దాని నుంచి బాగా attached అయినాం. Right. So out of that frustration, did you write cinema, or how did cinema happen?
Cinema happened because I wanted to break free. And in cinema, I discovered a style of my own. So basically, what happened was I was not frustrated. I was tired after roaming around the industry for quite some time. I think I wasn't knocking on the right doors, or I wasn't prepared myself, or it was some kind of insecurity within myself that I was battling, that I wasn't reaching the next stage. So my scripts weren't being greenlit and stuff. So at that point of time, I kind of broke free from the entire idea of doing things the right way, like make a short film, then reach a producer, and then write a script, and then make a feature. Instead, I thought, let me monetize on my short films. If money is something that I have to do, let me kind of do something on my own. So then I started a website called cinema.com, where I wanted to monetize content through what do you call that? SMS portal as well. So the money is kind of cut from your prepaid balance or your postpaid balance or whatever. It's a small money, and I know that a lot of us guys, even if we don't have money in our wallet, we'll always have money in our phones. So I thought that's a good way to kind of monetize for entertainment if you take 5 rupees from that. So that worked out really well, but we didn't have enough resources to kind of take it forward.
Okay. How much was the collection?
It collected around 30,000 or something on in the next 4 days that Cinema was put out.
Okay.
So, but if, to take it further, we needed a lot more efforts, and I wasn't ready to kind of get into a technical thing of putting a startup rather than making a film.
Right.
So, I wanted to make a film first. So I left the idea there itself. But what happened was through making Cinema, I realized that sync sound was a style that
Exactly.
I owned up. The way I worked with the actors was something that was refreshingly new for me, and I discovered a style of my own, and I was very confident after that to make a film. So I think Cinema, I would say more than anything, is a short film that I will always remember, where I discovered my style and matured as a filmmaker. Maybe.
ఇవన్నీ కాదు కానీ అసలు సినిమా చూడడానికి జనాలను ఎట్లా పట్టుకొస్తావు చెప్పు. అసలు వస్తారా? ఎట్లా వస్తారు చెప్పు.
నేను చూస్తా కదా, నేను చూపిస్తా కదా సినిమా.
అసలు నీ దగ్గర పైసలు ఉన్నాయా చెప్పు.
ఉన్నాయి.
చెప్పు.
ఉన్నాయి. బండి అమ్మి సురేష్ గారు చిట్టి పైసలు కూడా ఇచ్చేవి ఉన్నాయి. వస్తారు, పక్క వస్తారు.
గన్ని పర్సనల్ ఎందుకు పెట్టుకుంటావు చెప్పు. ఇగో ఇవి తీసుకో.
ఏంటివి?
అసలువే నకిలీ కాదు.
అబ్బా, ఏడికి తెచ్చినావు ఇవి?
నావే. ఇక అవన్నీ వేసుకొని నేను ఏడ తిరగబోయేది లేదు. అవి తీసుకొని సినిమా మంచిగా ఆడిపిస్తాను. అదే నాకు 10,000.
How did the idea basically strike your mind that Pelli Choopulu happens in this way? I mean,
Right. So basically, it was a very technical process. Writing a script is a very technical process. Sometimes it is definitely the idea or the entire characterizations and the underlying theme of Pelli Choopulu was an honest perspective of my perception of a lot of things. But script writing was very technical because script requires structure. So basically, when they get locked into the entire house, it's called the hook of the film. Then when they decide to kind of say no or whatever, that's the inciting incident. So then there's a midpoint, then there's a climax, then there's 3-act structure happening, there's reversals and all that. So I was very sure that I have to structure the film right. I have to kind of get these plot points very accurately right. So it was a very technical process. It wasn't something that I observed in real life and kind of this thing. I took a lot of cinematic liberties to write the script. But the characterizations, the way the characters react, the world of the entire film is something that was very close to me, something that seems very real to me. And I wanted to kind of portray that on screen with the confidence that everybody around me will also kind of connect to this world. So apart from that, the story idea of Pelli Choopulu never actually occurred in my real life.
right. So
But the technical process, yeah.
yes. So after the film released, I mean, every day I find something new from your page or from Pelli Choopulu's page.
Right.
That this pictorial drawings of this thing. I mean, you draw the scene and situation.
Right.
Yeah. How did that happen? Where did you learn it? I mean, not many of people belong to industry
belong
do this.
It's called storyboarding. Basically, it's a
Correct story.
essential part of filmmaking. And I felt that I learned that in Google by just Googling filmmaking courses. You have filmmaking courses on Google. If you want to be a business, if you want to do a business, if you want to do rocket engineering also, I think now you can just do it from Google if you have the determination to go ahead.
When we can make a bomb too.
Yeah. So basically, you can learn anything from this entire resource that we have. And I did the same thing. I basically kind of had a lot of material to learn from online, and I just stuck to what the basics are for filmmaking. So here there are a lot of stereotypes surrounding filmmaking that ledu itlane chestaru అని చెప్పేసి. But you have to kind of understand what tools are essential for you to kind of give a product a good qualitative this thing. Like, so you need to have that expertise and then break the rules. You can't break the rules without knowing them. You need to know the rules to break them first. So I had to learn everything and then do a lot of unlearning and then kind of use the process that was very effective for me in terms of helping me out or making the film's process more productive.
Right.
So I felt and also a lot of fear was there because I'm a first time director.
First time, yeah.
60 people are there judging you. First thing is constant.
ఇట్లా అయితే అట్లా కాదు.
Constant judging. The ఏమంటారు అని I was telling my friend also. అది 6 కొట్టే వరకు బ్యాట్ ఎట్లా పట్టుకోవాలని చెప్తారు. So it's like that. So they tell you how to play the game, how what to do. I remember Lightman kind of mocking the way I was doing pre-production. A couple of them saying, వీళ్ళు హాలీవుడ్ అనుకుంటున్నారు అది ఇది అని చెప్పేసి. There was also suggestions thrown. Like light itla bettali idi bettali prati okkar ante even the guy serving me food on my set gives me one suggestion and goes off. So I smile and nod to all of them, but for that I needed to be very prepared. I knew this was going to happen. I knew I was going to be judged by 60 people on set, because you say that there's this 26-year-old guy who's directing a film, 27-year-old guy directing a film, automatically the questions popping up. So I had to be very well prepared. So for that to happen, I needed to have my foundation right, and I needed to be prepared. So that's why all this extensive documentation and stuff. So I knew I had a plan. So even if anything goes wrong, I knew my direction team would also kind of execute it really well. So by the end of the entire filmmaking process, the crew came and they congratulated me, and then they said, what an effective, definitely.
We have heard that you have learned something in NYFA.
Yeah, I'd gone to NYFA. No, I didn't go to New York. NYFA film, they came to Bombay for a 40-day course.
Right.
So that was also very effective. They didn't teach me planning and all that. They taught me how to, what all different people do in the film crew. I was a gaffer, I was a second AC, so I was also miking up people. I was also a cinematographer. So I know what kind of thing happens. So I know what happens when they're doing a mic check, what decibel level they're maintaining. All these technical process,
things, yes.
That was there.
How many days you took to write the script of the film?
That's what I didn't document the process really well, but I'm assuming at a stretch I wrote the script in under 40 days. But to kind of get to that spot, it took a lot of fight against procrastination. And I saw the white paper, and that's called a writer's block. You can't write a word after that. Because there itself, you're getting judged. So what will people think? What's all that? So to get over that, it took me a lot of time, but a good 40 days is what it took to kind of flesh out the entire script.
40 odd days.
40
And the
odd days.
filming process with completing, till you get the first copy in hand.
Right.
This took how much time?
So basically October 26, 2015, I started filming.
Right.
After that, I took 32 days shoot time to kind of wrap up the entire film. This is excluding schedule breaks.
So 32 days lo మొత్తం
Filming process అయిపోయింది, but that is excluding schedule break.
Right.
So by December 26th or something, around that point of time, I finished my last shot. And then by Jan 14th, I had a rough copy.
Okay.
So that was a timeline. But after that, it took a lot of time to kind of refine it.
ఇప్పటిదాకా లైఫ్లో డబల్ రేట్ల మంది ఎప్పుడు కొనలేదు తెలుసా నేను. మా అయ్య లేవకముందు ఇంటి బయట ఉంటా, పన్న తర్వాత ఇంటి లోపట ఉంటా. టైం అంటే కౌశిక్ అంటే టైం.
You have heard that you have never lost your cool on sets. Basically, director అంటే వాడి మీద అరవడం, వీడి మీద మైక్ వేసడం, ఇట్లాంటి చాలా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు.
So basically, what I always felt was that's a sign of insecurity when you're kind of showing anger on people, and when you're trying to dominate everybody and stuff. I think I feel that you're only doing that when you kind of lose control over yourself.
Right.
So, but when you're confident and when you would like to collaborate with other people, when you have no egoistic approach towards doing any kind of work, your only thing is to kind of find solutions to an existing problem that appears. And also, I feel that filmmaking is a logistical nightmare. So what will happen is there's a day-to-day conflict management that's happening every day. It's like almost performing a wedding ceremony every day. Like,
Okay.
so calling so many people, feeding them, getting them to work on the one thing, and stuff like that happens. It's bound to happen, and I feel that I was already prepared for it. So there were very few instances where I kind of lost my cool, definitely because I'm human about it, and I was also insecure at times. But I was constantly doing this self-talk that I have to kind of let go and wait for things to happen and kind of deal with whatever happens in a very normal kind of way, because there's no point of yelling at somebody. You just yell at somebody on set and you just feel like you're boss. But at the end of the day, you just have to realize that you have to make good connections with people, provide a good environment for people to work, have a holistic approach towards working,
Right.
and you know that kind of reflects in the way the film is coming out. So unless it was a conscious choice to kind of be angry so actors react in a certain way, I don't think I kind of lost my cool at any spot.
Yeah, and coming to personal life,
Yeah.
how did your Pelli Choopulu happen?
I didn't have a Pelli Choopulu at all.
Right.
I met Lata on through another mutual friend,
Okay.
and then Lata's the name.
I know.
That's my
Yeah.
wife's name. So she was from Bangalore, and I went to Bangalore to kind of judge this short film thing at that point of time. That's when I met her, and then she was a production designer. So then we just told the parents. The parents met. The parents had a Pelli Choopulu. I think we never sat in a Pelli Choopulu and all. But yeah, it's been great. I mean, I kind of put some bits and pieces here. It kind of inspired me to write Pelli Choopulu in a more three-dimensional way after that experience.
Now you are completely into directing.
Right.
So a director needs to be on field for mostly half of the year or maybe.
Right.
Even she is part of your team.
Right.
How do you manage time?
I don't know yet, as in I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm asking her to do work in other projects as well, because she is genuinely a talented person, and uh, she's given a lot more creative inputs than anybody on set, because more or less she was like a associate director or something of that sort. She wouldn't like to call herself that because she's too scared to take on that name. Yeah, so that responsibility, because she's being shadowed by my name and stuff. She's not able to come into the limelight yet, but I think she's got a very keen sense of understanding of production design. She's got good taste in cinema and stuff like that. So it was difficult to manage in the start. Like I mean, I didn't know how it would be. Like if I take her into the field, like will she kind of will we have fights on set and off set again, and go back home and fight about the same damn thing. So it's okay if I fight with my crew members on set and fight with my wife in the house. But if it's the same person throughout, I think I might go mad and all. So that was the only reaction I had. But it, to be honest, it kind of brought more peace into our lives. I think we kind of understood each other much better. She kind of realized where my tension comes from and how I react in the house and stuff like that. We became more understanding that way. So yeah, I think it was beneficial.
Okay, right. So you are basically a Hyderabadi boy. I mean,
Yeah.
core Hyderabad. You are been here. You have been to
Right.
caves and eat
Yeah,
samosa
yeah.
and discuss
Right, right,
everything
right.
and stuff.
Right.
So things have been changing in Hyderabad from past 10 years.
Right.
What are the changes you have observed? I mean, kind.
I think the culture can never be taken away from Hyderabadis. I
Right.
mean, true Hyderabadis, because we have. I think that the people who come from Maratpalli, Chikatpalli, these RTC crossroads, and all these people, the boys who've been grown up here and stuff like that, we are very rooted.
Okay.
So we know that a cup of tea costs 12 rupees, probably 10 rupees, and we'll sit there and we prefer that tea over Starbucks,
Yeah, exactly.
because uh, that is the
Even
only thing
now?
I feel. Sorry.
Even now.
Even now, yeah, even now I just go with my friends and I sit in that same cafe where I used to sit and for hours and hours and discuss. A lot of revelations in politics and cinema and cricket have happened probably in chai cafes and stuff. So I believe in that. It's my culture. There's a comfort zone around that entire thing. But yes, definitely now the new generation is kind of being influenced by social media, the superficial kind of brands and everything that is there to kind of represent ourselves, to make us look more elated in society and all that. But we cannot forget our comfort zones.
Right.
Like Hyderabad has bred this entire culture for years together. I don't think we should let that go. We should be proud of it. That's our comfort zone, and we should encourage stuff like that. So
Your favorite places to hang out in Hyderabad?
there are very, to be very honest, there are very cheap bars and cafes where I hang out with my friends, because that's very comforting for me.
Okay.
It's my comfort zone. But otherwise, I like these coffee shops as well. In Sainik Puri, there's this recent coffee shop that's come up, Coffee Cup. So it's
Even you have used that in your film.
yeah, after great difficulty, that owner was very clear that he does not want shooting to happen there, which I understand, that's his taste for thing.
Right.
So you basically sit there, you read a lot of books, and you order some good food. Nobody bothers you. It's in Sainik Puri. It's a peaceful area. I like stuff like that. Yeah.
So you used it only because of nativity, which people connect. You used Tinespo, I guess, from Kompally.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I did not believe in putting up sets. Number one, because I didn't have a budget for it.
Right.
Okay, and apart from that, I didn't know how to kind of recreate a realistic set on thing. And also, I think that we have enough places where real drama happens. Real drama happen at colleges, trade, railway stations, the local places that we go to. I don't think we should place them in glamorous locations and stuff. Number one. And I think these are glamorous enough if they are portrayed in the right way. So that's what I believed in. That's what I
Even I was sitting in the theater, I was recognizing the guy who was
places.
serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. I know him.
So yeah, that kind of happens, I guess. And we didn't want to pay too much for extras. That's why we cast everybody who's there.
Right. So your project costed you around 73 lakhs, is what I heard.
73 lakhs. This is excluding remunerations of the actors and marketing costs, initial marketing costs. So I think the entire budget of the film when the first copy came after the Muhurtam function and all that, according to the producers, was around 1.3 to 1.5.
So,
But my production cost was 73.
so are you allowed to say the collections outside? No.
I don't know. See, that's what what happens is I'm baffled by the collections. Some people are writing that it's gross 32 crores and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really understand the dynamics of this money thing, because I never, it was not by design that the film collected 32 crores. It was by design that the film was meant to entertain an audience, but it wasn't by design that it collected that much of money. So it's not in my control. The moment I get into the logistics of how much it collected and how it got collected and stuff like that, I will start talking like one of those peoples I hated. There was this writer who told me that ఈ డైలాగ్ నేను రాస్తే వైజాగ్లో ఇంత కలెక్షన్ వస్తుంది అని అన్నాడు. So I think those guys are absolute idiots. They have no understanding of this thing, and I don't want to be like that. So that's the reason I stay away from collections and stuff. But to my knowledge, I think it has definitely exceeded at least a minimum of 15.
15.
Yeah.
కొందరు జాబ్ చేయడానికి పుడతారు, కొందరు బిజినెస్, కొందరు ఏది చేయలేరు. నేను ఆ మూడో టైప్.
వై దిస్ సడన్ చేంజ్?
ఫ్రాంక్గా చెప్పాలంటే పరిస్థితి కొంచెం దారుణంగా ఉంది.
Can I ask about your future projects? We have heard that you have been associated with Venkatesh. Someone says you are associated with Salman Khan even.
Yeah, so basically Venkatesh Garu, he came and he encouraged me on the day he was watching the film. He was excited uh, as hell. I mean, I never knew that somebody of that stature could be excited after watching a film, because you're into the field for so long. So he was like, this is the kind of cinema that I've always wanted to make and stuff like that. He was very encouraging. It seemed very heartfelt. And he said the doors are always open. He never said that come. He didn't put pressure saying come and work with me and stuff. He just encouraged the film and left it at that, because these people understand that a filmmaker needs time and space to do it. So apart from that, there was no in writing that come do a film for me and I put Chaplin. I just met him once, very briefly for that point of time as well. And also then there have been I met Nagarjuna Garu. I met Mahesh Babu Garu also. I met Akhil. Akhil took us all out for a
He
party.
even asked you for to direct his next film.
No, I knew Akhil before
Before.
Pelli Choopulu. I narrated B.Tech to him. He said no.
Okay.
He liked the entire idea. He said no, come back to me with a rom-com.
Okay.
I finished the rom-com, but then he was doing A.
Yeah.
So I couldn't approach him. I didn't think it was right for me to approach him at that point. So I just went on with the entire thing. So Nagarjuna Garu, he called me and he said he invited me to his house. We sat down for quite some time and he discussed about the pressures of the entire industry and how it is and stuff like that. He said, just write.
Just right.
Whatever you want to write, just write. The doors are always open in JP. So they basically made sure that I'm invited into the industry and there are options available. But right now I'm still contemplating whether I should kind of keep actors in mind and write a script, or just write a script first and then do it. Because I will only do what worked for Pelli Choopulu and what worked for my previous short films. If I start doing emulate some other directors or how things have succeeded here, I might be digging myself a big pit.
Yes.
I might just fail
So
badly.
same
So
thing.
I just want to do what I'm comfortable with and what worked for me.
Okay. Is some project online? We saw your profile pic holding this thing, typewriter.
That was a photo shoot by my friend. It wasn't.
It was a
It's not
promotion.
like I write with my typewriter like that. And
Okay. Many people even commented that you didn't reply. Basically, I think they'll get their answer now.
yeah. So basically, it was just a photo shoot by Kishore. I wanted to get some good pictures done for some magazines and stuff.
So, are you
But I don't wear
writing
a
again?
blazer and I hold a typewriter like that and write. I'd
Yeah.
be completely crazy to do that. But I am writing. I'm still taking some. I'm trying to take some time off and uh, think about different subjects and write.
So,
But I think I'm better off doing that alone.
so, are you interested in doing this commercial cinema where one hero, heroine, comedian, and item song comes and this is a format which our
Yeah, that's
film
what it's a.
industry has been
Yeah, that's what.
following.
See, I don't think we should call it commercial cinema.
Right.
Number
Okay.
one, because I think it's a different genre altogether. But just for understanding's sake, we kind of compartmentalize things into that thing. What makes money is commercial. That's all.
Okay.
So the I get what you're saying. The fight, the dance, and the song and everything. I'm not cut out for it.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll do that because I'm not saying that it's bad or something.
Because you are
Because it's the difference between WWE and real boxing. You know it's fake, but you like to watch it. But that's your taste. I like real boxing. So I better do that. Otherwise, I'll fail utterly at that. So I know that there are a lot of experienced people who know the art of making that kind of films, and I don't think I can ever compete with them. So I'll stay away from that.
this is I mean some questions asked by my friends. Pelli Choopulu, while making it, you had this tint of rustic color
Right,
which the whole film carried.
right.
People outside are like scratching their heads. How did he do this? I
So
mean,
basically, it was a conscious choice by me and Lata
okay.
to kind of have a color palette for the film. So what happens is there are a lot of communication that a film does with its audience on a conscious level, on a subconscious level. So basically, we try to emulate the things that we learned in film school and stuff. So there were a lot of conscious choices that we made to kind of communicate a lot of things about the film rather than dialogue. Because I've always been saying this that our films, majority of our films rely heavily on dialogue. I feel dialogue is a crutch to a filmmaker. I think that theatre should rely on dialogue because it is visually far away from the audience, and the person at the last seat should also understand the emotion of what is going on. And dialogue is an effective way of emoting. But when it comes to the audio-visual medium like filmmaking, dialogue is the last thing that you should rely on to communicate anger or emotion or romance or whatever that is. So I kept I used all these elements as subtext in the film. Dialogues were also used as subtext in the film. So it was conscious to kind of choose a color palette to represent the characters of the film. So Chitra was always wearing shades of orange and red and yellow and stuff, and orange, all these other colors. And Vijay was always wearing more or less shades of teal, blue and stuff. So orange and teal is a very it's on the color wheel. It is a contrast color. So it is done. It's a thing in Hollywood films where they put a lot of teal and orange to make the film look grand. When Cinescope cinema was introduced to color and stuff. So the basic idea was to kind of give that effect into this film as well, and we kind of gave that teal and orange effect to both these characters. And when they fall in love, you see that Chitra is wearing shades of blue and he's wearing shades of orange. So these are all done on a very subconscious level to kind of give you a feel. A lot of people might notice, might not notice, but what I learned I have to do so.
పెళ్లి కొడుకు
ఓ పెళ్లి కూతురు మీరేం చేస్తుంటారు జాబ్
చచా జాబ్ లాంటిది ఏం లేదు.
ఓ డిగ్రీ
సరేనా పాస్ అవుతావా?
సార్ పక్కా పాస్ డాడీ.
నీ వల్ల కాదులే కానీ చిట్స్ పెట్టుకున్నా పాస్ అవుతా.
దాని తర్వాత
కుకింగ్ వీడియోస్ యూట్యూబ్లో కుకింగ్ వీడియోస్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారా?
చేసి నువ్వే చూసుకుంటా.
మీరు చెప్పండి, మీకు ముందు ఎవరు బాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ లేరా?
యాక్చువల్లీ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ దిస్ మ్యారేజ్.
one dialogue which changed the whole film, which comes in the climax.
Yeah.
నా సావు నేను వస్తా నీకెందుకు అంటే how did that
See, basically, a lot of people uh, out of genuine concern and out of social reasons, they ask you, what do you do? Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? So I kept getting that question some 10, 15 years ago. And it's not like they were going to give 60 lakhs and say, make a film. They'll just give you free advice, which will never work. Some of them are interesting to listen to, but some of them get really annoying. Then, so somebody in my neighborhood tells me how to shoot the film. Like, item song lekunte raadu and చెప్పేసి all this shit. So I was tired of listening to all that, battling all that, and I realized that that is resonating with a lot of people who want to do something, because now what we do is shaped by society. Like, we are kind of consciously, subconsciously forced to do something because of a lot of peer pressure, societal pressure, and stuff. And I think it's that entire track of Kaushik was reflecting on things that are very evident in society, which is the crucial question of people judging you up and down and saying, what do you do? So based on that, they'll kind of give you respect or not. So it was like a thing. Like, even now, there was one particular Stars driver who told me, మీ సినిమా చూసినా అంటే చూడలేదు ఎందుకు అంటే చిన్న సినిమా కదా నేను చూడ అన్నాడు ఆ డ్రైవర్. వాని కోసం నేను 100 కోట్ల సినిమా తీయాలన్నమాట. సో బేసిక్లీ దెన్ హీ టోల్డ్ మీ మా సెట్ అంతా కూడా ఉండదు మీ బడ్జెట్ అది ఇది అని అన్నాడు, లైక్ కామెడీగా. సో నేను నవ్వుతా ఉండే. దెన్ హీ బేసిక్లీ కేమ్ డౌన్, నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేస్తున్నా, పెద్ద సినిమా చేస్తున్నా, చిన్న సినిమా చేస్తున్నా అంటే బుక్ రాస్తున్నా అన్న. నాకు అది పనికొస్తుంది అక్కడక్కడ. సో ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఆటోమేటిక్ దిస్ థింగ్ ఫర్ మీ. సో ఐ రోట్ దట్ ఇన్ ద స్క్రిప్ట్ as well.
అలాంటి వాడికి జాబ్ వచ్చింది చూడరా, ఇలా నాకు కాలేదు. ఇప్పుడు దాకా లైఫ్లో డబల్ రేట్ల మంది ఎప్పుడు కొనలేదు తెలుసా నేను.
నువ్వు ఎందుకు నవ్వుతున్నావురా? లైఫ్ సెట్ యూట్యూబ్ కింగ్స్ అన్నావు కదా, ఇదేనారా?
There is this huge agitation happened,
Right.
Through which we got this our
Right.
separate state.
Right.
Were you a part of it?
I wasn't consciously a part of it, but I was kind of viewing it from a different perspective. I wasn't an active part of the entire thing, but I saw Krishank. Krishank was working closely with Dad. Dad was a very active part of this entire thing. He was so it was happening in my house, but I was kind of away from the entire thing because I didn't have a solid perspective on what exactly happened and what stand I should take.
There is a huge gap between the urban and rural filmmakers.
Right.
Now that you are brought up, అంటే మీరు హైదరాబాద్లో ఉన్నారు, మీకు ఒక స్టూడియో అయినా కెమెరా అయినా చాలా దగ్గర ఉంటుంది. అదే ఇప్పుడు వరంగల్, మహబూబ్ నగర్ నుంచి వచ్చి చేసే అంటే వీడియో తీయాలి, ఒక ఫిలిం తీయాలంటే కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది. హౌ టు బ్రిడ్జ్ దిస్ గ్యాప్? ఐ మీన్, డూ యూ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ టు టెల్ టు దెమ్?
See, I think you'll have to move to places. You have to move out of your comfort zone to kind of get to a place where you never imagined you could be in. When you're in your comfort zone, when you expect things to happen to you, I don't think it's happened. That's on a more philosophical level that I'm saying.
Right.
But also, I feel that now opportunities should reach them as well. The most important tool that people from I wouldn't say rural areas, these are all cities, but people like this have is internet.
Right.
Internet is used for connecting a lot of things. Now we have networking platforms on professional basis as well as personal basis and stuff like that. I think we should, students and enthusiastic filmmakers, I would say, should kind of use this to their advantage, learn everything that they can about filmmaking, because I think knowledge is very powerful. The moment you understand your field very well, there are 24 crafts, and no matter how much you learn, it's just a drop in the ocean when it comes to filmmaking. So learn everything. Do not learn from what previous things we have seen on cinema. Don't try to emulate a Pawan Kalyan film or a Mahesh Babu film or any new film that's also coming or whatever that is. Try to find your own voice. Look at filmmaking as a generic way to kind of tell your story to the world. Be honest about it. Don't put that in a format that you've been used to from childhood. Rather, learn what filmmaking is on a global level and then use that to kind of tell your own story. And once you have that in place, once you're solidly 95%, you've learned everything about filmmaking, you know what a camera is, you know what sensors are, what a green screen is, what it does and stuff like that, how a lighting kind of reacts to a particular thing. there's a lot to learn. So once you learn that, automatically you will get opportunities. You will go to places and you will get that. But you have free knowledge at your disposal. Try to make use of that first.
Okay.
And once you've learnt everything, then you will see that opportunities will be there.
సైన్మా మూవీ తీసినప్పుడు దాంట్లో కొన్ని క్యారెక్టర్ నేమ్స్ ఉంటాయి.
Right.
వినంగానే యూ వుడ్ బర్స్ట్ అప్ ఎడ్డి రెడ్డి అంటారు.
Right.
ఇప్పుడు ఇంకో క్యారెక్టర్ ఉంటుంది
నల్లబాలు బండి రామచంద్ర.
హౌ డిడ్ దిస్ హ్యాపెన్? అది కొంచెం ఆ నేటివిటీ అక్కడ నుంచి తీసుకున్నారా లేకపోతే ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్?
See, that's what it's a very collaborative form, so you don't know who's kind of given an input and stuff like that. These names were given by Rahul Ramakrishna, to be honest, and that person is very, very rooted when it comes to all this nativity and stuff like that. And he's done a lot of research on. He's a journalist. He was also funded for the Prime Minister's fund to do research on Adivasis and stuff, the Goan tribes and all these other things. So he's very, very knowledgeable about this kind of culture and stuff like that, and he has a very funny perspective on things. So he collaborated a lot on Cinema as well when during writing and stuff like that. Apart from that, there was few characters that I have noticed in my childhood from Warangal.
Yes.
So there's this guy who was mute and deaf. We used to call him Eddie Shiva. Because when you say Shiva, there'll be some 100 people there. So you had to kind of tell them like, okay, E Shiva, Warangal Shiva, Hanmakonda Shiva, Eddie Shiva, that type. So it was a funny way to kind of call that guy. That fellow never found it derogatory in the first way.
Right.
He just took to him. He calls himself Eddie Shiva.
సెకండ్ హాఫ్లో ఫైనల్లో అదొక ఫైట్ సీక్వెన్స్ పెట్టిండ్రా నాయన. అది లేకపోయి ఉంటే సినిమా ఏడుకోపోవాల్సిన సినిమా ఇది ఎట్లుంది?
లవ్ ట్రాక్ ఎందుకు పెట్టిండు? ఇంత మనం కటింగ్ చేసినా బాగుండు. ఇంతవరకు ఈ ఊర్లో ఇజ్జత్ లేకుండా పోతుంది ఇక మనకి రేపటి నుంచి.
ఏమన్నా
ఊర్లో ఇజ్జత్ లేకుండా పోతుంది ఇక మనకి.
అది కాదు అంతకంటే ఏమన్నా
సినిమా జరంతా మన కటింగ్ చేస్తే బాగుండు అంటున్నాం.
నువ్వు గ్రేట్ రా గలీజ్గా.
మా అమ్మ ఊరికి అట్లనే అంటున్నాను.
ఏ ఒక సిజర్స్ కత్తెర ఫెవిక్విక్ గమ్ ఉంటుంది కదా, తీసుకురాకపోతుంది.
దానికి ఇప్పుడు
నేను చెప్తా పోతుందా?
దేర్ ఆర్ ఫ్యూ వర్డ్స్ డైలెక్ట్స్ ఇన్ తెలంగాణ. ఇప్పుడు పైలం బిడ్డ అంటారు,
Right.
బాంచన్ అంటారు.
Right.
ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లాంటివి మీరు మళ్ళీ అంటే వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ రైట్, యు ఆర్ అబౌట్ టు రైట్ సంథింగ్.
Right.
Will you include these things in your...
It depends on the context of what I'm speaking, what world I'm kind of placing my characters in. Because first thing is I would like to be very honest to the story that I'm writing, and I will do research based on that, and I'll kind of put, if it's a 80-year-old grandmother who's kind of situated in Warangal or Hanmakonda, some kind of village, I will use that kind of diction that you just mentioned.
Right.
But if I'm kind of denoting one guy who is kind of coming from Warangal to study in Hyderabad, I won't use that diction because now the generation is lingo is changing. So I'll want to be honest to the story. So whether it is the film takes place in Bhimvaram, I'll be honest to the accent there and the lingo and the diction there. And Warangal, then I'll try to be honest to that diction there.
Okay. As shown in the short film Cinema, there are many theatre issues. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఊర్లలో చూసుకుంటే మనకు అసలు థియేటర్ అనేది నడుస్తలేదు. ఎందుకంటే the film comes after 20 or 30 days, it is being screened in television.
Right.
I mean, what would be your contribution or something about this to improve?
So I don't think we should improve theatres because that's going 10 steps back. Because now theatres are almost, if I may dare to say, on the road to extinction. Because it's almost becoming like a luxury rather than a necessary form of entertainment. Because now content is being distributed on various platforms, and unknowingly or knowingly we are watching films in different mediums in our home theaters, on phones, on iPads, on tablets, and I think we should embrace that and see how that can be beneficial to an industry rather than try to support something that is already going down. And I think if numbers speak, and I think a lot of audiences, if theaters won't die, absolutely no.
Right.
But the entire there's a reason why films are only running for weeks, not months and years, because content distribution is changing, the form is changing, and by 2020, according to a lot of people, industry professionals have told me, apparently going to a theater will be like going to a restaurant to eat. You have food at home,
Okay.
but only when you feel like going to a theater, you will go for the theater, just for that demigod kind of an experience when you're watching a big thing. Apart from that, content will be consumed on smaller devices and it will be more personal by 2020.
Did you face the same problem while distribution your film? I mean, Pelli Choopulu, which came to distribution, I heard you faced a lot of problems.
Yeah, so
the beginning.
distribution thing was something unexpected. I knew that there will be a problem, but I didn't think it will be major of a problem. See, basically, it wasn't a problem. I didn't go to the right people at the right time. That was all the problem there was. So I felt that I took too many opinions of people who were kind of having the stereotypes about cinema. Sadly, there are a lot of people in the industry who have a lot of stereotypes. The truth about the entire thing is there are too many variables that define the success of a film. It's not just an item song or humor or they're saying that the pace of the film, this and that and stuff like that. I know that the second half of Pelli Choopulu is slow.
Yeah.
But I know that there are a lot more elements that contribute to the success of a film. So people judge the film based on certain things, and that is what the distribution circle has as a fault, as a very, very basic flaw. So they were kind of judging the film left, right, center based on a lot of other nuances, and I felt the film could not reach the theater in the right time.
One more thing is, we have beautiful locations in our state, basically. Adilabad తీసుకున్నా, Warangal తీసుకున్నా, ఇది తీసుకున్నా. So not many directors show these things. Instead they go to show a భీమవరంలో అది పొలం చూపించడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. అందరు కూడా చాలా ఉన్నాయి. అంటే what would you prefer? I mean, there are many things which can be explored. లక్నవరం పోయి ఒక షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ చేయొచ్చు. So ఇట్లాంటి, I mean, do you have these things in your mind?
First thing is, I don't think the information is out there. I don't think anybody's put consciously stuff out there, because right now people will follow only something that has been done for years. Because let's say that you're starting off with a short film, you will first ask your first circle of friends, a location బాగుంటుంది. That guy will say ఈ సినిమాలో ఈ లొకేషన్ ఉంటే అది బాగుంటుంది. You will start making your plans based on that location, rather than you exploring within yourself as to what experiences you had around your cities or towns or whatever. That kind of information is missing, and I feel that that's what filmmakers, the basic problem is people shouldn't emulate something that they've seen in commercial cinema and try to go for that, rather than look for their own things. So that's how. And also information has to be put out there. Like Laknavaram was a beautiful place, and I didn't know it. Realized I didn't know it was actually there till I went there and I actually saw the place. So information is not out there, I guess.
So what would be your priority in giving roles to these things? I mean, you would consider the local factor, or you would consider the talent part, or together?
I think I don't believe in padding actors or somebody coming to the theater for a particular actor. That is there.
Right.
Like major actor kosam I would go watch it because Rajnikant in it or Nani in it or whatever that is. But I feel that there's a lot more scope to get supporting characters and stuff from people who can actually act, who can probably really act and react to a situation. So I think I'll do that itself. I'm not going to go by experience or star power.
Okay. We have a small rapid fire for you before wrapping it up.
Sure.
So heart or mind? To begin
Both.
with. Both.
Yeah.
Football or cricket?
Cricket.
Okay. Dhoni or Ganguly?
Dhoni.
Lama Khan or Ram Ki Bandi?
Ram Ki Bandi.
Biggest failure and who is responsible for it?
In my life?
Yeah.
The biggest failure would be continuing to I don't know, man. I don't know if I should say that. But continuing to kind of pursue 4 years of engineering, whether I knew I could spend that time focusing on it, and the responsibility is mine. So.
Okay. Favorite author and the last book which you read?
I'm not much into reading, but I remember reading Dan Brown's Angels and Demons. That was a very long time ago. But I've read a lot of books like 14 Laws of Power and stuff like that by Robert Greene, I think. And a lot of script writing books like Sitfield, Robert McKee and stuff.
Right. Your favorite city?
Chennai.
What traffic sign you would be and why?
I would be orange because I'm very cautious as a person to take a decision. So yeah.
Okay. One word about these actors and directors.
Yeah.
Okay. Mahesh Babu.
Smart.
Pawan Kalyan.
Power.
NTR.
NTR, I think Majestic.
Okay. Prabhas.
Prabhas, Hunk, maybe, yeah.
Nani.
Nani is Brain, I guess.
Right. And now coming to the director's part, Rajmouli.
Rajamouli is
Rapid fire.
matured. Yes. Not getting that word.
Seenu Vaitla.
Comedy. Yes.
Right. Jandiala.
Shit. Master of comedy.
Right. Shekhar Kamula.
Shekhar Kamala is soft and creative. Yeah.
Sukumar.
Sukumar is really skilled.
Right. Puri Jagannath.
Style.
RGV.
Substance.
Okay, sir. Shankar.
Shankar is escapism.
Yeah. Vikram.
Talent.
Maniratnam.
God.
Okay. Best director friend in the industry.
I'd say Hussein, Sujit, Pawan Sadineni.
If you are offered a role in Bahubali 2, which role would you like to do?
Lightman. So I wouldn't act.
Actor you would love to work with and why?
I would love to work with Nawazuddin Siddiqui
Right.
because he's a treat to watch. I also got an opportunity to pitch a script to him when I went to Bombay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to pursue that.
Nice. Recent favorite movie? One in Hindi, English and Telugu.
I saw Todari. Todari is Rail in
Rail in
Telugu.
Telugu.
I really liked it a lot. Apart from that, Srirastu, Subhamastu and Manamanta also I liked. Recent films lo choosing dantlo I'm telling about. Did you watch this film Don't Breathe?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So
Yes.
I absolutely loved it. I was shocked when I saw the film.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. I like that film. Recent films only you're talking
Recent
about, right?
films, yeah.
Hindi I watched Pink, so it's pretty obvious. Yeah, Pink
Pink,
is also,
yeah.
yeah.
So you have not been to MS Dhoni yet?
Not yet. I was planning to take my mom tomorrow.
Okay. Personal and professional goals before 30?
Nothing. And one thing is to settle down to probably build a house for my mom and wife and stuff and myself to just live in. That is my personal goal. Apart from that, make some interesting films that excite me every day.
Right.
So
An idea that changed your life?
make that video for school.
Achha, yeah. If not directing, what else?
Like be a chef.
3 things which you take with you on your one-way trip to Mars.
Take my camera, take a book, and what else? Take my wife and my mom.
One event which you are proud of?
One event which I'm proud of is before my father passed away, I wrote my. One event I'm proud of is after my father passed away, I took it on myself to clear my degree and make a film within the 1 year of 1 year anniversary of my father's death, and I lit the lamp for that Savansarikam after I finished my film and my degree.
Wonderful. What subject you would love to teach?
Filmmaking.
Okay. Must have in fridge?
Must have in fridge chicken.
Beer or biryani?
Both.
A girl crush?
Left eye or right eye? Huh?
Girl crush?
Girl crush. Shit. I'm thinking of my wife, what she's reacting right now. There's this Malayalam actress, Nazriya Nazim.
Yeah. Directing or acting?
Directing, man. Shit.
How would Tharun impress a girl?
Make a film.
Okay.
Very boring shit, but yeah, I'd make a film and.
Your prized possession?
Prized possession is a 16mm camera that I bought in Cannes for €1 in a flea market.
Wow. Do you cook?
It's not prized possession because it's lying somewhere in my office, but yeah, I cook, yes.
Okay. Unicorn or rainbows?
Rainbows. Both are gay, but yeah, rainbows, I guess.
Clubbing or chit chat?
Chit chat.
Okay. Who did you text last?
My wife and Krishank just now because they had to ask for directions.
Okay. Movie that made you cry?
don't remember the movie that made me cry, man. Shit. I cried for Tare Zameen Par.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah,
Till
way
then,
back.
no?
Yeah, I remember a lot because I cried for the. No, shit. I remember Gautam Menon's film about Surya taking on two roles. Shit.
Surya son of Krishna.
Surya son of Krishna. Cried. Hugged my dad and cried.
Okay. Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
I watched only Breaking Bad. I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Okay. Favorite Breaking Bad character?
Saul Goodman also I like. Yeah, Saul Goodman.
Yeah. One superpower you would wish for?
I'd wish for one superpower is to become invisible. I don't know.
One movie which you can watch repeatedly?
I can watch a few movies repeatedly. One is Nadula Konjam Pakkatakano. It's a Tamil film. Apart from that, I can also watch Shawshank Redemption because of a lot of content. You can always reverse engineer that. And I right now want to watch Don't Breathe repeatedly.
Okay. Have you stolen anything till date?
Not purposefully. What she say?
Hearts. To film it.
So I think I've stolen shit. I just hope my mom doesn't watch. I've accidentally taken lighters from my friends. Yeah.
Have you drunk bail someone?
Yeah, a lot of people, lot of times.
Okay. Last would be something. Your views on the current government?
I think it's a very positive vibe in the country right now. I don't think we should point out flaws. I think it's a role of the opposition party to do it. But right now, I'm very happy with how things are going. I believe in KTR more than anybody.
Right.
I think he has a vision. I think he's very well knowledgeable. I think he represents the future pretty well, solidly. I think it's in good hands.
We would like you to do more these films because
Absolutely, yeah.
as a resident of this state or as the content which you give, we are like fans to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So we follow you very closely and you do whatever you like. We are here to encourage you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
So,
And that's what I believe that a lot of stereotypes are broken with Pelli Choopulu, knowingly or unknowingly. And I think a lot more is to come. And I got the same kind of genuine appreciation from a lot of people. I think we are representing each other. And I feel that it's also my duty to encourage the next generation as well. I will continue to do that as long as I can.
okay,
So
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.